Before this video starts, I'd like you guys to hit that like button because when you like this video, it actually helps the algorithm. Also, if you haven't been receiving notifications, hit that bell button so you are notified whenever I drop videos or go live. When you are doing black magic, you got to pay attention to the signs. If you're in a position where you don't have access to your target, I would say this: find a way to have access to them. Because that way you can know and see what you paid for. If you have faith in spirituality, that's a different subject. But if you're a novice and you've never done this, I would definitely say have a window open to see what's going on with your target. When you do this, you will begin to see certain signs. And these signs can vary. If you want to know if your work is working, if your spell, hex, curse, jinx is working, pay attention to the person's body language. Pay attention to their body. The first telling signs that the person may have something on them is their demeanor. Face. If their face looks tired. They go to sleep, but they're still tired. They look like they're aging rapidly. Recently, I did an interview. This woman said there was a spiritualist who she was seeing, who she went out with. She said the spiritualist he looked older than his age. There's reason to believe that that spiritualist may have work on him. But here goes an outside person says, a person that their eyes were all dark, these dark rings were around their eyes, they look tired, they look like, according to what this individual said, that person looked like they party every night. But this person doesn't party every night, doesn't smoke or drink. The person said the person's skin looked like they smoke. And they said that person doesn't even smoke. These are things that you got to pay attention to. Because most people neglect this. And they usually assume that nothing's going on because they don't pay attention to these signs. It's easy to miss these signs. Do you know how many people that I've been around that couldn't see the signs of whether someone was high? It's somewhat the same thing with magie. Is that you could be around a person who's never been around somebody who's high before, and they could be next to that person and probably wouldn't even know that they're high. Whereas say someone who's been around people that's been high can tell, if that person's high or not. Same thing with magie. Is that you should be able to look at a person and know if some shit is on them or not. This is something that most people are not able to do. They just bypass it. The person looks tired. Oh, the person just looks tired. They assume, oh, it's just something normal. They probably didn't sleep at night. And that's not even the case. Sometimes a person get all the sleep in the world and they still look drained and they still look tired. Now, with this being said, we know that the person is tired. What does this mean? This is just a manifestation of what's going on the inside. If you see this person is looking drained and tired, like what's going on inside? What's going on with their organs? What's going on? When you're doing black magic on a person, the telling signs is that it sits on a person, the person gets tired. But as time goes on, it evolves into other things. When you're dealing black magic in particular with the dead, the person's hair begins to fall out. Their body begins to erode while they're alive. It's as though they're dying while they're still here alive. So things begin to happen. Illnesses begin to settle in different places. And these are things that can also happen as well. Another avenue of this is if the person is mentally weak. They have a weakness in their mind. This could be an avenue where the spirit interferes with their judgment, and now you begin to see the person begins to display acts of schizophrenia, acts of delusions. They become violent. They can become psychotic at times. I know this one spiritualist. He was so caught up in the spirit that he punched a 1-year-old baby in the mouth. Very dark, graphic shit. Sometimes the spirit can come over a person and make them psychotic and make them do things that they wouldn't do if they were in their normal frame of mind. Another avenue of this is domestic violence. If you're doing work on a person in the avenues of domestic violence, the relationship, it can become violent to the point where one person may get physically abusive to the point where they can even almost put the person in a coma. I've seen this before. I've seen one man get shot by his girlfriend in the head and lived. He ended up divorcing, or not girlfriend, he ended up separating from the woman that he was with to come to a client of mine. Yeah. Sometimes when you do black magic like that, it can cause so much riffraff in the house that it causes that type of chain reaction. The violence intensifies. If the violence is already in the person, it only magnifies it. You got to know how this thing works, because if you don't know, you're going to assume it's not working. Or you may wonder whether or not this is from the work or not.